I've been involved working in galleries for the past 20 years. Virtually every year I've run a fundraiser for the organisation that I've been working for, and it's always featured works by New Zealand artists. Many of those artists I've known really well. The first auction was in 1995 at the Centre of Contemporary Art in Christchurch. The most successful one I held was in 2000, and it was in association with the Christchurch Art Gallery. So we raised around $75,000. Peter Webb came down from Auckland, auctioned a number of works, some really good works by leading New Zealand artists. In fact, we even set a record price for a painting by Canterbury artist Bill Sutton. Plantation series sold for $41,000. And it's interesting because 2000, I think, is almost the moment when suddenly every organisation in New Zealand that was fundraising decided that auctioning artwork was a really good, profitable venture to undertake, and they were right. For a local school, it's far more profitable than a sausage sizzle or a fair. Good artworks by leading New Zealand artists can fetch and do fetch remarkable prices. The best example of a school is probably Littleton Primary School. They've held an auction every year. One of the parents who had children in that school was Bill Hammond, and he always donated a work, so they managed to record figures between 25 to 45, 50,000. Auction houses in Auckland now schedule auctions between their own events as fundraisers. And I just remain absolutely impressed by the generosity of New Zealand artists and their willingness to support so many of these events. It's important to remember that artists, professional artists, are running a small business, and I wonder how many other small businesses in New Zealand support fundraisers and charities to the same extent that they do. There probably are others, but I can't think of them at the moment. In fact, fundraising by the auction of artworks has reached this pervasive presence, a point in which many artists are requested once a week to donate a work, and I'm not saying that to exaggerate, it's true. As somebody working in the arts, I do sometimes worry about the merits and principles that I bring to the table too. Running or working for a gallery, and I'm there to support the artists, and I keep on asking them for works as well to help my organisations out. So it worries me probably even more when I work with organisations who are outside the art world and they're auctioning artworks, and they have expectations of artists, that is, they've got expectations of small, one-person businesses to consistently donate their livelihood without any reciprocal benefits. The premise that their organisation is a prestigious cause and any artist would be more than pleased to help out. Working with artists, and by that I mean working with the artists and establishing a relationship with them, is the best way to ensure a successful fundraiser, and also that you can continue to have successful fundraisers, works of art. Treat the artist presenting the work to you as a stakeholder that you can go back to next year, and support them just as they support you. Artists in general increasingly are really wary of auctions and putting their work in. They feel very uncomfortable in general about it, so look after them. Some of the things that they worry about is their work is sold for less than its value. It may be in conflict with how much their work is retailing for in a dealer gallery. Maybe it's a threat that their work in fact might be worth less. Another dealer or a consultant could buy a work and then put it back on the market. I mean, it's a question of ethics, but artists are not happy with that happening either. They also don't have an unlimited supply of artworks, and they need stock for group shows, solo exhibitions, and clients and their own business. They also ask questions like, should they be in a fundraiser that includes the work of lots of amateur artists? Does that compromise their professionalism? And does the group running the fundraiser actually know what they're doing? Is their work going to be poorly displayed? Is the catalogue going to be full of very poor reproductions of their work? Again, they're worried about their practice being compared with that of an amateur. Well, all fundraising groups need to make their own decisions about those questions, but I think the artists and their work, I think from my perspective, should be paramount for everybody. And I'd suggest that if you are going to do this, to do the following, and some of you probably do already. Always give a percentage of the sale of the work to the artist. I would say at least 50%, unless the artist has said they're happy to donate because they support the cause. Be prepared also to negotiate the percentage. A gallery commission from a sale in a dealer gallery is 40%. It's not unreasonable if the artist wants you to take 40% of the commission. I mean, if a work sells for $12,000 in a fundraiser, you're still ending up with $4,800. You'll also receive better works from the artist. If the artist puts the work in and they're going to take a percentage of the commission, they're more inclined to give you a work that's going to reach or achieve a higher price. Set a reserve on the work as well. The notion of putting the work in, and if it goes for $500 when it might be valued at $5,000, is very unsettling for an artist. It's reassuring to the artist that you support them and you respect their work. If the works are going to be displayed, make sure that you do it right, get the right staff to hand display live works, and if there's a catalogue, make sure the works are photographed well. Also put a price range to the value of the work. If it's $1,500, maybe have it sitting between $1,200 to $1,600, just so that people that are purchasing or bidding have an idea where they should pitch the value of their bid. Artists feel seriously embarrassed, and I've seen this happen in a couple of instances, when their work is sold way above its market value. For example, a fundraiser last year that I was with, there was a work valued at $1,500 and it sold for $18,000. And the artist was very unhappy about that. I also think it's a matter of looking after your stakeholders, the clients that are doing the bidding, because inevitably they'll find out the work they have isn't of a value of, say, $18,000. And it's a matter of respect all around. Look after the artists and look after the people that are supporting you. So do make sure that there is a value on the work. Finally, I would think it's a good idea to run an art auction that's unique and provides an opportunity for the artists to do something new and unusual. There was one at Webb's 2 years ago where artists were given ukuleles and they painted on the backs of them. They sold and they raised a considerable amount of money at the Don McGlashan's project. It's also a good way to build the relationship between the artists and your organisation. So having made all those suggestions, I'm going to now show you a work of art which, having just said, always give a commission. I've shamelessly asked the artists to donate these works. We're holding a fundraiser at the Academy of Fine Arts next week on the 21st of March. We have 200 small canvases. We've mailed these out. The artists have painted on them and returned them. So you're all welcome to be at that event. I'll leave a flyer over on the, it's called Canvas 200. So you get wine, food, great music, as well as a free artwork. The artworks will be presented to everybody who buys a ticket at $75. I'm mentioning this, one, because it's an important fundraiser for the Academy, but also because it reminds me of why I like to work in the arts. Artists, I'm generalising again, they are generous people, and I'm touched by the fact that we've sent these canvases out and virtually no one has refused. They've all quite happily gifted them to us, and for that reason I think the arts, working with artists and promoting the arts, is something that I'm certainly committed to and will remain committed to.